The coronavirus pandemic was, to say the least, bleak for business. Large layoffs and furloughs have caused around 21% of the US labor force to seek unemployment benefits after mid-March, and analysts believe that the US is likely to be in recession. But despite this turmoil, several businesses have been flourishing thanks to the drastic changes in consumer behavior. The quarantine orders, which have rendered restaurants, bars, offices, and gyms empty, have created new opportunities for other companies. Care to take a guess on which businesses are flourishing right now? You're not too sure, are you? Well, keep on watching till the end to find out. But before we begin, make sure to hit the like button and join the Future Billionaires Club by subscribing to our channel and ringing the notification bell to stay up to date with our classy uploads. Activision Blizzard. Famous video game genres including first-person shooters, sports-based games, and adorable animals have become a success for top gaming firms. Activision Blizzard claimed that Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which came out in September, sold more copies than every other Call of Duty game at the time of its publication. Sales in the first quarter rose to $1.52 billion, up to 21% from last year's $1.26 billion. Electronic Arts. For Electronic Arts, sales rose by 12% in the fourth quarter relative to last year. It was buoyed by such games as FIFA, Madden NFL, and The Sims 4. Like Activision, it often gained from people sitting at home searching for comfort and distraction. Nintendo. Nintendo said that its annual profit rose by 41%, the highest in 9 years. And the income in the first 3 months of 2020 has more than tripled relative to the previous year. Sales this spring were driven by the breakout success of Animal Crossing New Horizons, a game set on the island of Utopia. The company has sold more than 13 million game units in its first 6 weeks. The Nintendo Switch console continues to be difficult to find, with the company selling more than 21 million units in the last fiscal year. The Clorox Company. Everybody cannot stop sanitizing, bleaching, and washing every nook and cranny in their houses. It's almost like that crazy dance craze that took the world by storm back in 2014. They just can't stop doing it. It benefits Clorox, manufacturers of the world's largest laundry goods. Clorox said its total sales jumped 15% for the first quarter. Sales of the cleaning segment of Clorox, which includes their wipes and bleaches, jumped 32%. There was also an increased market demand for cat litter and grilling essentials, driving a 2% rise in revenue in the household category. Reckitt Benckiser. The British company that manufactures Lysol and Dettol, Reckitt Benckiser is also seeing higher profits. First quarter sales increased by 13.5% due to strong consumer demand for disinfectants. The company has also been put under the spotlight for more than just a strong demand for its products. In March and April, revenues of aerosol disinfectants grew by 230.5% and of multi-purpose cleaners by 109.1% from this period last year, according to the research firm Nielsen. Peloton. Peloton offers in-home exercise equipment such as bikes and treadmills. Unsurprisingly, Wednesday's quarter soared. Sales increased by 66% and contribution increased by 30%. The company, which has a loyal following, also raised its full-year forecast because it doesn't expect demand to decline anytime soon. Publix. Some of the country's largest grocers have benefited from the need for household necessities and food, which have remained open as essential businesses. Publix recently said sales jumped to $1 billion for the first 3 months of the year, while sales at stores that have just opened within at least a year grew by 14.4%. DoorDash, GrubHub, and Uber Eats. The onset of the pandemic has forced restaurants to stop indoor dining, and even worse, close up. Patrons also had to stay in their homes indefinitely to quarantine. These establishments had to look for an alternative to stay afloat financially, especially with these patrons looking for an alternative to home cooking. Takeout and delivery services from DoorDash, GrubHub, and Uber Eats helped satisfy the cravings of customers even during the pandemic. Kroger. Kroger has also benefited from the pandemic. Recently, the grocery store said that sales in stores that have only been open for at least a year rose by 30% in March. Its best-selling items were boxed food meals and cleaning and paper products. As a result, Kroger said that it anticipates its first quarter results to be better than expected. Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat has reported that its sales have more than doubled in the first quarter. Sales in the first 3 months of the year amounted to $97.1 million, up to 141% from the $40.2 million in the same period last year. The findings from the numbers have exceeded our expectations, said the company's CEO, Ethan Brown. Retail sales in the United States increased by 157% compared to the same period last year. The plant-based meat company is in a good spot as it expands to the Chinese market, even as the US is on the brink of a national meat shortage. 3M. The company said the virus triggered significant demand for its personal protective items, including gowns and N95 respirator masks used by medical professionals. First quarter sales rose nearly 3% to $8.08 billion. This was boosted by a 21% increase in the healthcare sector and a 4.6% increase in consumer goods, such as the Scott-Brite sponges. Wayfair. Quarantine has practically put everyone in house arrest, giving everyone time to think about home redecorating. In the most recent quarter, Wayfair's revenues rose by 20% relative to the same time last year. The online store said it saw strong acceleration in new and repeat customer orders, with orders increasing by 21% to 9.9 million. Overstock. Wayfair's rival Overstock has also reported that its April retail revenues were up to 120% relative to the same month last year, with increases happening in its key home furnishings categories. Slack. Slack and Zoom have become ubiquitous communication tools for people who can work remotely. Slack Technologies said it added 9,000 new paid customers, an increase of 80% compared to the previous quarter, between February 1 and March 25. Not only are more people coming in, but consumers are getting chattier. In a press release, Slack said the number of messages sent per user per day increased by an average of 20% globally. Zoom, a video conferencing app, has undoubtedly become the best company to break out. It has even swooped right past former industry toppers GoToWebinar and Cisco during the past 3 months of quarantine, when companies were forced to have meetings online when face-to-face meetings became out of the question. According to CEO Eric Yuan, the company hosts 300 million meeting participants a day. Zoom claimed it passed 200 million users a day in March. For this year, Zoom stock is up to 120%. Amazon. Online retailers have indeed fared well during the pandemic, but Amazon still remains as the powerhouse. While the company's sales growth has been impressive over the last decade, Amazon has received a significant boost from quarantine, as consumers have not been able to go to stores to make purchases. On March 12, which was when the COVID-19 lockdowns began, the company's stock price clocked in at $1,676.61. At the end of June, it was nearly $1,000 more than it was a few months before. Awesome, right? Truly, the pandemic brought advantages to these booming companies. So, Future Billionaire, did you guess any of them right? Let us know your thoughts by leaving a comment below. And because you're still here, we got some bonus info for you guys. You might not believe it, but during the past few months, fortune tellers boomed than roof fixers. With the record-breaking 3.28 million people applying for unemployment in a single week, it is obvious that a cloud of anxiety and doubt regarding the future is hanging above the heads of many Americans. This has made long-term planning, such as home improvement projects, feel particularly difficult. Businesses funding home improvements are down dramatically, with roofing and deck facilities down by 85% and 66% respectively. On the other hand, all this uncertainty regarding the future was a blessing to fortune tellers, with mystical readings demand rise to 136%. Thanks for watching, Future Billionaire. Enjoyed what you saw? Deposit a like, and be sure to join the Future Billionaires Club by hitting subscribe and ringing the notification bell to keep up to date with our entertaining uploads. And check out these other amazing videos we've selected for you next.